How's it going, guys? I'm prepping the Jeep for paint now. As you can see, I've pretty much done all of this. I'm sanding it down, pretty much just getting the dirt, the rust off, like the very surface rust. So I'm going to show you how to get rid of some of these small rust spots. I'm going to find one and then I'll show you, because I've pretty much got most of them now. Alright, so there is some, not really rust, but it's some bunged up holes that's all the way down to metal. So how you get rid of it is you get some 80 grit sandpaper, and you might be thinking that's quite a bit, but trust me, it just goes a lot faster. You can sand it all down with 120 or 220 afterwards, but you get it and you just start sanding. Now once you've taken all this down to bare metal, you get this rust reformer. You spray it once you've cleaned it all off, and it's ready for paint. So you use some isopropyl alcohol, wipe it all down, but before you use this, you want to vacuum this whole thing off of all the dust, because this is just to get the small particles. You want to get all the big particles off first with the vacuum. Now you get your isopropyl alcohol and a rag, and now you're just going to wipe it all down. So usually you want to use 100% or 99.9% isopropyl alcohol. I've only had 50 laying around, so I used it. But if you have 99%, then it should be dry within seconds. Alright, so now with that dry, I'm going to use this rust reformer and just spray some of these spots that I sanded down to bare metal where there was some rust. So I finished up with this rust reformer. As you can see, it's completely covered up with black where there was metal, but now there's no metal showing. And I'm guessing you guys are wondering about like these brown spots that kind of look like there's been rust in it. That's actually the primer they use from 65, I believe. It could be an aftermarket, but I believe that's the actual original primer. Now you want to get some wet sandpaper and some water, and you want to sand it all down. I'm using 400 grit. I was using 80 before to sand all the rough and like rust off, but I'm going to use 400 now and wet sand it. It should be fine. If you feel better using like 120 and then 220 and then keep going up, you can, but I'm going to start with 400. Now this is perfectly smooth. I'm going to let all this water evaporate off, and then I'm going to hit it with some automotive primer, which I've been using for all this, like the bumper and the tailgate and stuff like that. So once this is all dry, I'm going to hit it with some primer. Alright, so I just put on that second coat, and this looks really good. I don't think I'm going to put on a third coat, except I did get one run all the way up near the front, but that's fine because we're going to end up spray painting this flat black anyway, because this is inside the engine bay. Alright guys, so I put the last coat of primer on. It's been a couple days, and I also sanded it down a little bit. There still is some rust spots you can see right there, and then some smooth spots right there. But it's about, I don't know, 30 or so degrees Celsius, or degrees Fahrenheit. Now, and I'll show you why you don't want to spray during that temperature. It's because you could see, I'm gonna see if you can see them, but they're just, get these little cracks like that. But I have the other fender to do. Well, I also have the outside, the other fender, the grill, and then the hood. And I'm gonna sand all those down. Alright guys, so I just finished up spraying. I sprayed the fenders, the grill, and the hood, and there's the other fender holding up the fan. And I also sprayed the tailgate. It's all just primered now. I even wet sanded the surface, the touching surfaces, so the outside fender, front of the grill, the top of the hood, and this part right here. Just finished up sanding it. It looks pretty good. Now I just have to wait to get the paint and to get the Jeep Prime, which is under that tarp right there. But yeah, thank you guys all for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. We're going to be painting the Jeep soon, so stay tuned.